Hello everyone, this is Kev Simmer. I'm here with a create a sim video to showcase what I've been working on. Now, if you happen to see this Bachelor family name, hopefully that might ring a bell, of who you might expect. Um, Creating Bella, Bachelor. Now, a lot of people are just like, oh, she was Bella Goth, she was abducted and everything. Like, why are you recreating her? And why are you giving her the Bachelor name? And it's part of a special surprise I got going on in my Sims play style. In my neighborhood, I have Bella as a feature and a guest part of my neighborhood. She'll be a part of the family, the Bridgetown community. And what you see what I'm doing here is just cycling through all of the Sims that I've pre-made in what is that? Sims Body CAS. The application where you can actually create and edit Sims and whatnot before you actually launch the game. I find creating Sims that way to be a lot more advantageous because there's a lot more sliders that you can manipulate in terms of like facial structure. Um, and yeah, this happens to be my version, my remake of Bello. And yeah, I had a lot of fun creating her. I would use YouTube videos for reference. I'd go on Google to look at images just to try to match up somewhat close. I wasn't going to get perfect, and that wasn't really like my intention, but I just wanted to be close enough. And I'm just cycling through to her famous hairstyle that she had in The Sims 2. I think it helps her to be recognizable to a lot of other simmers who will be watching this video. And it's an iconic hairstyle, that really fits her. I do like these other hairstyles that I've been getting. Custom content I really didn't used to I really didn't used to get behind it back then, just because I didn't know how at a young age. I didn't really know anything about downloading stuff and just how to do the whole thing. I didn't even know custom content was a real thing until like I just like be on YouTube and watching and seeing people with stuff like Jeeps and like Toyotas and stuff in their parking lot. And it's just like, how do you guys get all this stuff? Like, how do you do this? And then like for OG simmers, like there used to be like access to custom content straight through your game, where you can what was it, EA-thesims.com or something like that. You could get CC. But yeah, that application closed, so I was just like, how are people able to get all this custom stuff going in their gameplay? And so I end up learning about Mod the Sims and Tumblr and Reddit and Pinterest and stuff like that. So like a lot of stuff that you see that's kind of like custom, Pinterest is a great help for finding a lot of custom content that you can add for makeup, for jewelry, for hairstyles, clothing, as you can see with her red dress that she had on with a bunch of roses and whatnot. But yeah, Pinterest is definitely a great help for those who are trying to get into the Sims 2 gameplay and need some fancy stuff and fancy clothes. The beautiful part about Pinterest is I was able to find her exact replica dress that she used to wear. because in the base game, the vanilla game, uh, they actually don't have it as an option for you to have for your created Sims. It's a custom outfit that only she can wear. So in trying to recreate her, I was just like, it's not going to hit the same just getting all these other red dresses. The other red dresses are really nice and really fine, but you know, my whole thing was to um, get her to look as similar to how she looked in Pleasant View as much as possible. So here we go. We have the outfit with stockings, and we have the one without stockings. And if you look closely, you can actually see a couple more color swatches that um, you do have the option to be able to switch her in and out of. Um, yeah, it was wonderful that I was able to find it. The one part that kind of trips me up though is they don't have her signature necklace that she would wear. So I guess there probably is some custom content where they actually have the necklace as well that I might find later, maybe not. But for now, I'm just okay with it. Um, so yeah, I didn't really play with the Goth family in The Sims 2. Um, just because like whenever I would play The Sims 2, I'd always be trying to create my own neighborhood, create my own Sims, and tell my own stories. But I am familiar with the lore of like her getting abducted by aliens and whatnot, and I really didn't want to play a game without her entirely, and just have her removed from the game. Because that just wasn't going to be fun. And like I said, I'm an OG player, so like I've been playing with Bella Goth since Sims 1. So to not have her in the game, it's just um, it feels like there's a void missing. And then, but because of that, I am able to tell my own story about Bella and her disappearance. Nobody really knows what happens, but I've created my own headcanon of what actually happens to her, and it's quite the story that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys, and telling her story, and you know just how her evolutionary progress unfolds. So yeah, I'm really excited to play her, and just the twist on her story of what's going on with her after the abduction. Everybody wants to know what happened. So when you see her on my channel, basically I'll be storytelling. That should be a hint right there. The aliens on her t-shirt, she's not going to wear that, but of course aliens will be a big part of her story, just because she was abducted. And yeah, it's going to be something really cool that I can't wait to share with you guys. Lots of surprises, lots of twists and turns, lots of narrative stories that I'm looking to tell in this Bridgetown series that I have coming up, that I have planned. I'm still in the process of writing and creating the characters and creating the homes, and just really decking out my custom neighborhood. I also have plans for other joint neighborhoods. Like yeah, this actually surprised me. I didn't know she was without a shirt while playing, but yeah, she didn't have a shirt on, so I just have to cover that up a little bit. But yeah, I have business districts, I have downtowns, I have several universities that I plan on adding. I have vacation neighborhoods, or whatever you like to call it, destination places for my Sims to travel. And I plan on making like another about one or two more neighborhoods that fall in the same um, subcategory of Bridgetown. So basically, all the cities and towns and universities and whatnot together, I've called Bridge County. I just think that's a best the best way to kind of group everything together for it to make sense. Right here, I'm just kind of looking into her eyes. If you look closely, like at the faces, in the UI, like the pupils are a little bit different. Where like the white shiny parts are like two, but you know when you look at Bella here, there's only like one white shiny part within like her pupils. So I was just trying to figure out like why that is, especially with me using the Maxis version of the brown eyes, and not the custom content brown eyes. Um, I probably have downloaded some custom content that just kind of altered everything, but it is what it is. I'm not too much of a stickler. It's pretty much close to how I want it to be. Um, but yeah, this creative Sims is one of my favorite parts of playing the game. Um, let's see here. Just trying to watch and make sure that her face is really good, and make sure that all the facial features are pretty much on point. Um, yeah, just try to make sure that she's presentable in the way that I like to. And yes, even though like I edit in body cast, I still take it through the main cast and edit it to my liking, so that I may decide to change a few features up if I'm not completely happy with how it turned out. I do my final editing in the in-game Creative Sims screen. I wanted to put some uh, earrings and necklaces on her. I was kind of looking to see if they had her signature necklace, but they didn't happen to have it. I also do need to find a different way to get rid of this UI out of her face. For whatever reason, I think it had to do with my resolution, or something about like the sizing. Because I know that's a pretty big issue with a lot of simmers, is they want to make sure that the screen actually fits their laptop or computer. So I probably just have to look at some other mods to kind of fix that and get rid of it out the way. But for right now, I'm not too much bothered by it. I made it work. So, but yeah, I've just been trying to look at what kind of jewelry I want. Sorry, my phone just went off. But I just wanted to kind of figure out what kind of jewelry I wanted her to wear, that would suit and fit um, the new version of her. Because just to let you know that because she's come from an abduction, normally when you play and your sim gets abducted by aliens, there's usually some type of dramatic change that happens to them. And so like with her coming back, she has this dramatic change to her behavior, her personality, the way she goes on about life, her new goals in life, and just her ambitions. They're different. So I thought these red hoop earrings would kind of suit and fit her in a way that lets people know that this is a new and improved version of Bella, and that she is going to be, I don't know, just a bolder woman, a woman who is don't know, just more in tune with herself and her power and her strength. I think that's what you're really going to capture from the story that I am going to be telling. Is that she comes with a lot of power and a lot of strength, and a lot of flair. She's daring and she's brave and she's courageous. Now, yeah, I was kind of looking at like different necklaces to see like if they would suffice close to what she originally had, and this middle roll is kind of close to how I like it. It's not perfect. It's not exactly how she was, but it's close enough. And I think for right now, close enough is fine. Uh, if there's a trait that I have in the Sims, it'd be like a perfectionist trait or something like that. If I was a Sim player, but yeah, for right now, everything's close enough to how I envision it. Now, I know you guys are probably looking and seeing like, hey, why is her name Isabella? I'm like, where did that come from? And I just figured that I add a little twist to like, hey, you're getting to discover a little bit more about who she is and whatnot. Now, I decided to change the dress to black as part of an initiative to really display that she's becoming a new woman. She has different goals. The black is just kind of a sign of strength and power, and being bold and courageous, and she's turning into something new, as opposed to something that you were familiar with before. The old Bella is gone. You guys are meeting a new Bella. It's almost like being introduced to her for the first time as Isabella. So this is a different version, a different side of her, and it's going to be really, really, really exciting for you guys to be able to look at the dynamics that she has with the people that she's living and interacting with and having relations with. In her story, she will have a interview / documentary I plan on doing with her to kind of explain to everybody like what happened. Like with an alien abduction, I just envision that a lot of people would just like be wondering, because if you ever look at the details, like she's on the milk cartons and stuff like that. I think I've even seen her like in the newspaper of just like in the missing ads and stuff like that. There's a couple of Easter eggs of just trying to figure out like where is this woman and stuff like that. So I'd imagine that she shows up in Bridgetown and everybody's just like, hey, you're that lady who supposedly got abducted by aliens. What happened? And there'll just be a lot of press stuff. So but yeah, I ended up completing her. Looks like I made her into a Cancer, just to kind of display like the kind of attitude and mindset that she had. The Sims 2 doesn't really go deep into what her sign was, but I just figured this fit best. Now, welcome to Cassie Bachelor. I have given her a new look. She doesn't have the pigtails, the ponytails, or whatever you want to call them. She now has a kind of like bob / pixie cut. And I've given her some makeup. I've changed her eye color. I don't know if I wanted them to be contacts or if she just had some eye surgery to get a permanent eye change. But regardless of what happens, Cassandra, she is a new person. She is not the same Cassandra that you've always known. She's still kind of like gothic in, you know, her attire and her dress and whatnot, but she's added a little flair. Like you can kind of see a little bit more personality. She's kind of peeking out of her shell. You know, she's um, got a little spunk to her now. And it's almost like a rebel, a new and improved version of her. Like you seen her like get rejected at the wedding, you know, where she's down the aisle and, you know, her and Don are supposed to say I do, and you know, Don stands her up and whatnot. And so you know, between that and just losing her mom in the alien abduction, um, you know, uh, she kind of has a lost sense of self. So long story short, not to spoil any details, she ends up reuniting with her mom. Um, and the details and circumstances of that uh, um, are to be announced. So stay tuned for future videos that are coming out. Um, in terms of her aspiration and her signs and whatnot, I was really conflicted. I know she was a knowledge sim and just really smart and stuff like that, and but you know, this new turn of events, I was just kind of debating on like, do I keep it that way or do I kind of like change it to something where she's kind of like a new and improved version of herself, where she has a different sense of self. But I think just like for the core of who she is, knowledge is always going to be something that's a part of her personality. Um, and she's not as shy as she used to be, but she's definitely still kind of shy still, just because, you know, with everything that goes on and moving to a different city from Pleasant View to Bridgetown, you know, she's exploring new territories that are uncharted for her, and you know, she gets to remake her identity. And so I think a changing or a slight tweaking of the personality traits would kind of suit her best. You know, so yeah, just kind of cycling through that. I was also using Google to kind of just like figure out like more of her personality and like what kind of person she would be, and the same with her mom too. Just trying to figure out her personality style, um, of how she was formerly, and how I wanted her to be with this new transition. Now I will let you guys in on the secret. Uh, Cassie makes it to Bridgetown because she was also abducted too, and through that abduction, she reunites with her mom to Bridgetown. And you know, people are like, "Wait, Cassie gets abducted," and it's just like, yeah. So in the turnoffs, I tried to find alien, and surprisingly, aliens don't exist in the turn on, turn off page, which I found to be very interesting. Um, but she does have a fear of aliens, and aliens will also be a big part of her story. Um, but as for a look, I wanted to stick with like kind of the purplish theme. She's still gothic, so it's going to be a lot of black and dark colors, but purple is kind of letting, you know, the viewers know that you know, she's a little bit more daring, she's a little bit more adventurous, she's a little bit more uh, curious, and wants to explore her identity a little bit even more. I guess you could call her queer in a sense, and I think that's kind of like the direction that she will initially take, just traveling and being in a new environment, where she doesn't really know anything anymore. You know, what she thought she knew isn't quite exactly that anymore. So, you know, she's just at a stage, crossroads in her life, where she wants to figure out like, who is she? And from Cassandra to Cassie is kind of like that subtle change that kind of lets you know that she's not the same person that she once was. She's moving towards a new and improved version. Now there are a lot of different dresses that I liked here, that were really really nice looking on her. But I wanted to find something that will be at her core. You see the orange jumpsuit. I will be having prisons in Bridgetown, and that will definitely come into play. Now this was really really cute. I really really loved her in this. This two piece kind of like halter top, and these high waisted pants. The floral, like fashion is really something that she's kind of grown into. How she dressed before, it was really gothic, and it was just kind of like yeah, really gothic. Really gives homage to her family name. But I think with the change of her last name to Bachelor, it kind of lets you also know too that, hey, I'm stepping out of what I was before, and I'm becoming someone new and daring. So she's gonna definitely be into dating and partying, and um, Bachelor just implies that she's single and ready to mingle, and that's what the glasses kind of give off too. Is that she's looking to put herself out there, especially after a failed marriage attempt. So yeah, the glasses just says, hey, I'm single and I'm on the market, and let's have a wild ride. And there's kind of like, when you get out of a relationship, you're just kind of ready to party. You have your sense of freedom and self again. So, you know, that's just what's giving in her new look. The short hair, the hair change, and the makeup on, and now this dress, I believe, is what I really loved on her. It's still giving a kind of purplish, navy, midnight color that's just giving a lot of mysteriousness, which, you know, to her, that's kind of like how she is right now. She's kind of mysterious. Even to herself, she doesn't really know, like, who's this new me. So I just thought the dress was fitting, not only just in a fashion sense, but just like if she was to go to a wedding or a funeral or even a church or something like that, that dress was just kind of a more formal attire. Um, and then just trying to find like different underwears and stuff for her to wear too, just like I don't want her to be like super ultra like sexy ish, but more so just kind of like still herself. But I think I just end up going with this one. Um, I'm doing a voiceover right now, so I can't necessarily remember. Um, but yeah, sticking around like the black and purple theme is just and a little bit of pink. I didn't want her to be too pink, like you know, pretty girly pink, but just kind of like that hot pink, that out on the town at night, on a Saturday night kind of pink. Those kind of colors is what I like. I also thought about these PJs right here too. Just as a two piece where she's still having fun and lounging around and getting to be herself, and there's just a lot of great choices, and um, she's definitely gonna have to be doing a whole lot of shopping with all this custom content. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I have a modded computer. I think you have the option anyway, even if it's not modded. But there is the option where you can buy clothes online. I kind of want to get away from like doing everything online and even buying stuff from the buy catalog. And I'd rather just take my Sims to the store and actually do the shopping themselves, just because like it gives a lot more realism to the gameplay, and it just makes it like a little bit more fun to do, where you're actually taking your Sims out of their home to do stuff. This swimsuit I really really love, just because like the stripes and the different color variations. I was loving this outfit too for her for her athletic outfit, but then I was just like, wait, if she goes to the gym and she doesn't have any shoes, uh, like that's gonna be kind of awkward. Like seeing her run on a treadmill barefoot, that would probably hurt her feet. She might chip a nail or something like that. But the outfit is just kind of given like she does yoga or ballet, Pilates, stuff like that, and that seems kind of like more her speed rather than just like going on a full-on intense like back-breaking workout. This kind of just gives like serene and peaceful and quiet, which is kind of like uh, how she is in her nature. Uh, I do like these jumpsuits that she puts on too, but it's a little bit too, I don't know, too regular-ish. I want her fashion statements to kind of speak about like her personality change. Um, so I think I end up going with the barefooted outfit. Um, I just think it works the best for her. Um, Love her swimsuit. Um, love her underwears. Her pajamas. I'm still kind of trying to figure out like I don't want it to be too girly. I want it to stay in the theme. Um, you know, of just this new version of her. It's still gothic, still element of gothic, but it's more fun this time. It's not so also serious. This is a fun Catsy. But with all the fun that she is having, there will be kind of like a downside to her personality. Also, it's just like she wants to figure her life out. She's gone through a lot of traumatic experiences with this move. With her even getting here in the first place, it was a very traumatic thing for her. Um, she's had a complete personality change. So her fashion choices, I just want to kind of highlight. It's something spiritual going on with her that speaks through her clothing. Just subtle different. Um, Subtle different things that you can kind of pick up without full dialogue. you know um, how she dresses kind of speaks to the new person she's becoming. And I was really struggling here, trying to find an outer outfit that wasn't too girly. The first outfit you see there at the top, that fit the color design that I want to do. But if it's snow out, like I'm in Wisconsin, so like it's a lot of snow. I mean, it's been melting today, but no one wants to go out in 7 below and some, um, you know, what do you call those fishnet stockings? Like that's too cold. It's just gonna freeze her legs off. So I think I just opted for like the pink coat or purple coat or something like that, to somewhat stick to the color tone. A sweater still wouldn't even do it too. I mean that definitely fits the color as well, but um, you know it's still too cold. She needs a jacket on. So yeah, um, just trying to make sure that I have all their outfits in place so I can go straight into story mode. I still need to build the bachelor family a house where they can live, but I'm just trying to picture, if they're moving into Bridgetown, um, where would they exactly be living? What would be the situation they find themselves in financially? Um, so right here, um, I was trying to figure out like how to make Bella and Cassie's mom, but right there, you're not able to do it. So I'll just end up going into SimPE and editing the relationship. I could probably do it through SimBlender. I have that mod too. Um, but I think SIMPE would just kind of make it a little bit more concise. And plus, I plan on editing their memories so you can kind of get a better sense of like what happened to them, like why don't they have certain memories of, Mortimer and Alexander and Don and everything. Well, all of that is going to be explained. Um, but yeah, here's Bridgetown. Here's one of the three bridges that it's there. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun showing you guys around. Um, um, a surprise for you guys. Michael Bachelor is alive and well in this version as well, and that's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun. I think I end up creating another person here, but I'm actually gonna sign up for right now. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for all the support. This is kind of like my first official video of gameplay. So yeah, a little bit nervous, a little bit without of a script, but hey, I'm just winging it, and yeah. Again, thanks for the support, and I'll see you on the next one.